Hey guys, Saki here from sakitech, and in today's video I want to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 and the top 5 best replacement phones for the Note 7 that I think you'll be satisfied with, even though nothing is quite as satisfactory as the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 due to that S Pen. So two things to keep in mind as we talk about the replacement phones for the Note 7 is that you are going to lose the S Pen. So there's no other phone in the world that offers the functionality in the way Samsung Galaxy Note 7 does. And of course, you're going to be losing the iris scanner, which I don't think is a big deal. But the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 does have an iris scanner that can read the contours of your eyeballs, and it can save that into the phone, and then you can unlock the phone using your eyes. So the S Pen and the iris scanner are gone. And like I said, although the iris scanner is not a big deal, the S Pen, in fact, is a big deal. So what other phones are out there that can replace this phone? Now, for those of you guys who are not fully aware of why this phone is gone, it is because there have been incidents of this phone exploding, and the incidents were so high that Samsung pulled it off the market. Okay, so that's how severe it was for at least Samsung. They pulled the phone off the market, and if anybody has this phone, they want you to shut it off and stop using it, and they want you to take it to the store and get a replacement. So that's the official recommendation from Samsung and any other store that I've talked to. So if you have one of these, maybe you feel devastated, but you have to take this phone back to the store and get a replacement. So let's talk about the #1 replacement for the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. And that has to be the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Why? Well, first and foremost, they look exactly alike, almost exactly alike. There are some subtle differences, but they sport all the same specifications. Okay, so they've got the Quad HD screen, they've got the Snapdragon 820 processor, it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and they run the same operating system. Everything is very similar, and they're both water resistant, as you know, and the resistant category is the same. It's IP68, so you can take these phones and you can submerge them into 5 feet of water for up to 30 minutes, and there's no problem. So yes, the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge should ideally be the direct replacement for a Note 7. And this is only possible, of course, if people that own the Note 7 and are returning the Note 7 still trust Samsung. Who knows if they do, if they don't, I would. I have no problem getting that 7 Edge. I've had that phone for a while, it works perfectly, and there has been no incidents of its exploding all over the place. And of course, the one great thing about the S7 Edge is that radical, beautiful design. You've got the dual curved displays that just makes this phone look as one of the best looking phones in the world. You do lose 0.2 inches worth of screen size. So the Note 7 is 5.7 inches, it's Quad HD resolution, but the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, it's actually 5.5 inches. It's still Quad HD resolution, and because the screen is a little bit smaller, you get more pixels per inches on the screen. So technically that means the S7 Edge screen is sharper. The other thing that you're going to lose is the HDR capabilities. So I don't know if you know this or not, but the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 can play certain HDR content when HDR content is available. Now, I think that was one premium feature in the phone. It's premium feature, but it's not really that important because we don't really have that much HDR content available for mobile phones, and not even just mobile phones, even for the high definition TVs that support the feature don't have too much HDR content. All right, so let's wrap this one up. S7 Edge as the #1 replacement for the Note 7. Let's talk about the phone number 2. Phone number 2 has to be iPhone 7 Plus. Now, this is for people that are looking for a change of scenery, okay? So what you are going to get is you're going to get a phone that's going to give you better apps and better games. So iOS has a better app and game ecosystem. That's just a fact. It's got more quality applications, and all games on iOS basically play better than on the Note 7 or any other Android phone. iOS is in fact a gaming smartphone. At least 50% of it is designed to do so. So the other 50%, you got this closed-ended system where you cannot customize your screen, but you get a really nice, smooth and fluid operation. There's no lag anywhere. But again, you cannot customize this phone in any way, okay? You get the phone, you get a lock screen, you unlock the phone, and you have a static grid of app icons, and all you can change is the wallpaper. So no customization, but you get access to an amazing app ecosystem. And if you are in fact a mobile gamer, if you're dreaming about playing some really good looking games at a smooth frame rate, then the Apple iPhone 7 Plus is a great alternative to the Note 7. It's great for if you're looking for a change of scenery and you want to see what's on the other side of Android. Also, some people purchased the Note 7 because it came before the iPhone 7 Plus. And if you have been regretting your purchase, this is the perfect time to give the Note 7 in and get the iPhone 7 Plus if you have been dreaming about the iPhone 7 Plus. Because Apple does a great job of marketing their smartphone, which makes sure a lot of people salivate at the thought of the iPhone 7 Plus. So again, if you were having buyer's remorse, or if you were at the fence but you got the Note 7 before because it came before the iPhone 7, this is your chance to give it in and change the scenery and get the iPhone 7 Plus. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys end up being amazed and some of you guys really just want to go back to Android. Okay, it really depends on the person. Again, like I said, you're not going to be able to customize this phone like you can do on the Note 7 or the S7 Edge. You can install themes on those phones. You can arrange the home screens. You can install widgets and all that good stuff. On the iPhone, you cannot do that, but you will get some very good apps, but especially you'll get access to some amazing games on the iPhone 7 Plus. So iPhone 7 Plus is the second phone that I recommend to get as a replacement for the Note 7. Let's look at the other three options. And of course, the reason we're looking at other options is because some people may not want the Apple phone at all. They still want to stick with Android, but they may not be interested in a Samsung phone because now they don't trust the brand, which again, like I said, I would still trust Samsung, but some people simply don't trust products after they have these incidents where they recall everything in the production line, everything that's on the market. So let's look at some other brands. The one I want to really talk about is the LG V20. Now I have an LG V10, and LG V10 is a fantastic phone. It actually is just as good as the Note 7. It's fast, it's snappy, it's very feature rich, and it doesn't have the S Pen, but without the S Pen, it might even be better than the Note 7 as far as the total package goes. Now the design is not as good as the Note 7. It is an aluminum design, but there are some things it has that a lot of people are missing on smartphones. It has a removable back cover. So you can remove the back cover on the LG V20 and you can replace the battery. So you can have extra batteries just lying around. And of course you have the SD card expansion slot. That's something a lot of people are looking for too. But again, the LG V20 is a premium flagship device. It's going to come out October 28th in US. Okay, so if you're watching this video before that date, it's not out. If you're watching it after that date, it's available. And it's got a Snapdragon 820 processor. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's got 2 cameras, just like the iPhone 7 Plus has 2 cameras, but it's a little bit different. It's got a wide-angle camera and a standard camera. Okay, so it does not have a zoom lens like on the iPhone 7 Plus. But again, those are all flagship specifications. It has Quad HD resolution, which is the best you can get on smartphones today. And it's just an overall very solid package. The software on the LG V20 runs very smoothly. Okay, so it runs better, in my opinion, than the Note 7, than the S7 Edge, because Note 7 and S7 Edge, they put a lot of Samsung's own stuff on atop Android, but LG V20 doesn't do that. So it's got a great software Android system. So if you don't want Samsung, if you don't want Apple, then go for LG V20. And of course, beyond the LG V20, we have 2 more options that I think you should consider. They're both Android and they're both Google phones. One of them is Pixel XL. So that is the newest phone from Google, the Pixel XL, and XL I think stands for extra large. It does have a 5.5-inch display. By the way, the LG V20 had a 5.7-inch display, if that's the display size you're looking for. So Pixel XL has a 5.5-inch display made by Google. It's going to be running Android N right out of the box. It's got a quad HD screen, it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and apparently it has a camera that has received the highest rating from DxOMark. DxOMark basically rates smartphone camera lenses. They rate other lenses and other cameras too, like DSLR cameras, but they also rate the quality of a smartphone camera, and they have given it a score of 89, which is the highest. I think the S7 Edge and the Note 7 have a rating of 88 or in that range, but certainly it's less than the Pixel. So that doesn't mean the camera is going to be better. That's just a little appraisal that DxOMark gives out to these phones. But it certainly has a high score. So it's got a good camera. It's got the fastest processor in the market right now for Android phones, Snapdragon 821. And basically it's got every other flagship spec that you could find. So it is a flagship phone that is worthy of replacing the Note 7 and even brings you a little bit extra power. It does not have water resistance, it does not have iris scanner, it does not have S Pen obviously, so those are the things you want to think about. But these are the phones I want you to go research if you're thinking of not keeping the Note 7 and replacing the Note 7. And finally, I said that Nexus 6P is also an option to replace the Note 7. And I say that because the Nexus 6P is a fantastic phone. This phone runs like a champion, all right? It runs the pure version of Android, and it's got Android N right now. And it does have an old Snapdragon 810 processor. It's got 3 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a camera that is not on par with either iPhone 7 Plus, S7 Edge, or the Note 7, or even the Pixel XL, the same company that made it. I'm sure they made sure the camera on their newer phone, the Pixel XL, is better than the Nexus 6P. But Nexus 6P is still a relevant option. Or if you wanna up the specs a little bit, instead of Nexus 6P, you can get the OnePlus 3, which I think is a little bit even better than the Nexus 6P. But those are the 5 phones that I recommend as a replacement for the Note 7. Unfortunately, it's gone. The S Pen is gone. You're not going to get that at all. But all right, so S7 Edge, #1 choice if you want to stick with Android and you're okay with Samsung. iPhone 7 Plus, if you want a change of scenery, obviously that's the best replacement for the Note 7. It's a direct competitor. And then you've got the LG V20, which is a fantastic phone. Remember, the special thing about that phone is it's got a removable back cover. It's got all the flagship specifications like the high-end screen, 4 gigs of RAM, and an 820 processor, but it does have that extra removable storage and of course SD expansion slot. And then the next one is Google Pixel XL, the extra large version, 5.5-inch screen, and a more powerful processor. And finally, Nexus 6P or OnePlus 3. Actually, OnePlus 3 is probably a better option. All right? So listen, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, just drop a link below as always, and give me your input as to which phone you're going to be picking up as a replacement for your Note 7. And make sure you subscribe to sakitech. Give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you want, and have a fantastic day.